Tonight on Q2, measles in Montana. For the first time in over 3 decades, the airborne disease is spreading in the Treasure State. We'll have details. Plus, going dark.
A tree got loaded down with snow and pulled one of the power lines off the power poles in the alley.
The lights go out for thousands across Yellowstone County as a spring snowstorm hammers the area. And a Holy Week journey.
It's a way to pray and to spend some time together. So that's kind of the genesis and the inspiration for it.
A centuries-old tradition continues here in Billings. The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Thursday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. The first measles cases since 1990 have been confirmed here in Montana. The Department of Health and Human Services reporting 5 cases this evening, all from Gallatin County. Those individuals are children and adults who were exposed to the virus while traveling outside of Montana. All of those affected are isolated at home, and the health department is contacting anyone else who may have been exposed. The 5 are unvaccinated or have an unknown vaccine status. This case comes after a nationwide outbreak of 750 cases that's already killed 2 unvaccinated children in Texas. Dr. Neil Koo from the Billings Clinic spoke last week on just how quickly the measles can spread.
According to the CDC, at least 20 jurisdictions are reporting cases of measles. So jurisdiction typically would be a state and such, but could be other things. So it's not, so there are multiple. Now we're seeing more and more areas reporting cases of measles.
The CDC says once contracted, symptoms typically take 7 to 14 days to appear. Early signs include high fever, cough, runny nose, and watery eyes. The airborne disease continues to be prevalent in many regions worldwide, resulting in an estimated 300 deaths every day. Health officials say the best prevention is vaccination. The future of Colstrip appears a little brighter tonight. That's big news for the state, with 45% of Montana's energy being coal, and much of that produced from the town's plants. It comes after President Donald Trump recently signed an executive order limiting the Environmental Protection Agency's influence on emissions at power plants across the country. Our Charlie Kleps traveled there to learn more about that impact.
For years, there's been uncertainty surrounding the future of the Colstrip power plant, and along with it, it's raised concerns about the future of the town of Colstrip itself. But after this week's executive order from Donald Trump, there's now stability on the horizon for both.
It means everything.
In the small town of Colstrip, coal truly does mean everything.
Everybody came here to construct the power plant, and then they stayed here.
The large power plant that looms over the town is part of the reason Colstrip was established.
It's very important for our community, and as I said before, for the whole state of Montana.
It's important that it stays here.
Mayor John Williams and former plant employee Bill Newmiller say the plant has long been a source of pride in the community.
We know what we have here. We recognize the value of what's going on in Colstrip, and others have too.
But in recent years, the future of Colstrip has been in limbo.
It was kind of an up and down emotional roller coaster.
That roller coaster has largely centered around environmental concerns, with many public utilities turning away from coal and to renewable energy sources like wind and solar. In 2020, 2 of Colstrip's 4 generating plants were shut down.
The more carbon dioxide we pump into the atmosphere, the more degraded our climates are going to become.
A decision Lander Bussey approved of. Bussey, the son of former gubernatorial candidate Ryan Bussey, was involved in a landmark 2023 youth climate lawsuit against Montana, who alleged the state had violated their right to a clean environment.
We have reached a limit in fossil fuel emissions.
Bussey says the intent was never to eliminate jobs in places like Colstrip, but to nudge the community and others to turn coal jobs into new renewable energy jobs.
And if we want to be able to even start the process of energy transition, we have to start now.
We're all concerned with the environmental impact, but these are clean burning units. They are clean. That's a fact.
And it appears the Trump administration agrees, as the president this week signed an executive order limiting the EPA's control, allowing plants like Colstrip to stay online well past their retirement dates.
It's a relief to me knowing that these units are going to continue to operate.
It gives them a little bit of stability going forward.
In Colstrip, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Maybe spring on the calendar, but winter returned with some force today, leaving nearly 45% of Northwestern Energy customers in Yellowstone County in the dark at one point. Around 6 inches of snow fell here in Billings, with some across the region seeing even more. The wet and heavy snow causing some trouble for commuters, but especially for property owners. The storm led to downed trees and power lines across the city and a mess for energy crews. Homes from the west end to the Heights lost power overnight, with more than 7,000 Northwestern customers reporting outages. At that point, it was the most power outages in the entire United States.
The tree got loaded down with snow and pulled one of the power lines off the power poles in the alley, and it was arcing a couple times back there. So at least the two of us lost power. At some point we all lost power, but those all came back on.
Almost all of those outages had been restored by this evening. Well, the storm was definitely far-reaching as well, with Hardin, Livingston, Colstrip, Red Lodge all impacted by this taste of winter. These are some of the sights from across those areas, as 60-degree days just yesterday gave way to this winter wonderland. But as this system moves out, what will be moving in? With the very latest on this Thursday, here's meteorologist Jason Stiff.
Now, what a weather day for Montana and Wyoming. Almost a month into spring, and it felt a lot more like winter today. We're not quite done with the snow shower activity just yet, but we've had about 95% of the snow that's going to fall, but you'll notice we still have some areas of snow around Rygate, Roundup, as well as just east of Billings over Lockwood, getting closer to Huntley as well as Shepherd, a little bit around Custer as well. So we're not quite done with everything, but again, we've had almost all the snow and rain that we're going to get. Temperatures today did not rise very high. In the Magic City, we dropped down to 30 this morning with the areas of snow, and we only rose to 35 degrees. That's where our average low is supposed to be. Our 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Well, nearly 24 people joined forces today in Billings, celebrating Holy Week with a unique journey. That pilgrimage lasting 10 hours, with all those in attendance walking 14 miles, making 7 stops, all culminating in the Holy Thursday Mass. As our David J. explains, it's a tradition that dates back almost 6 centuries.
For the sake of the sorrowful passion,
have mercy on us and on the whole world.
A group of about 20 enjoy the second annual Billings Station Church Walking Pilgrimage.
Quite a reflection, gives us lots of time to reflect internally, and then just to helps our faith grow.
The pilgrimage included St. Bernard, St. Thomas, St. Francis School, St. Pius, a stop at Central High School.
Dear Jesus, here in the heart of Central's campus,
Mary Queen of Peace, and St. Patrick's.
I'm just happy to be a part of it and to be able to walk somewhat in the way that Jesus did and to suffer a little bit for him.
They started the walk in the Heights, finished here at St. Patrick's. They're emulating a tradition that started in the 16th century, where a pilgrimage visited 7 of the prominent churches. And the whole idea is to make Holy Thursday that much more special.
We're especially thinking about the passion of our Lord, and it's just a small way to kind of enter into Christ's sufferings, and yeah, this week of all weeks is the week to do it.
Father John Pancratz had a chance to walk the actual pilgrimage while he was a seminary student in Rome.
This is St. Philip Neri in the 1500s. So he was a priest in Rome, and he wanted to find a way to get his people, to increase their devotion to these big churches in Rome, and so those are, again, the 7 most important churches, and so they would walk to all of them.
And that devotion culminates with Holy Thursday at St. Patrick's.
We try to bring a little bit of that devotion and a little bit of that spirit here.
Just a really nice feeling of having accomplished this and persevering.
I'm very excited to finish this journey today and end with Mass at St. Pat's.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Well, a chance to sample some great food and wine, all while helping make college a little more affordable for MSU Billings students. The MSU Billings Foundation's annual Wine and Food Festival got underway tonight at the Metro Park Pavilion. It's a 2-night affair this year, tonight and tomorrow. It is the MSU Billings Foundation's largest fundraiser for the university, money that can make a tremendous difference for students.
MSUB Wine and Food Festival has been around for 33 years now, and so over that 33 years we've been able to raise over $8 million total that go back to student scholarships at MSUB.
So many students at MSUB are the first in their families to go to college. They don't necessarily have a savings, a savings account ready for them to just write the check for their tuition. So this allows students to choose MSUB, to decide to come here, or to be able to finish their degree because they just need those few more dollars to be able to finish.
Tickets for tomorrow night's signature event have already sold out. They expect to make around $750,000 this year for student scholarships.